And the Big Brother specialists are back, and we are podcasting for the last time today because our boy Tucker has left the house. Blake is just too distraught to talk.
I wish it had been a photo finish. I wish it had been somebody puts him up because I beat you. Like, yes, this was his one chance. He didn't have 3 chances because he won HOH last time.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't have the HOH chance. He loses the veto, gets second place because he's put in the position where he has to hit a high number first, because giving his opponent the choice to hit whatever number is not good. And if you're in that scenario, it's just playing out of position in poker, basically. And then he plays this game, but plays it probably one of the worst showings in a challenge yet, not just for himself, but for anybody. I was putting the puzzle together backwards. I don't know how much they're shown, but it definitely feels like if there was the idea of the numbers are going to be on this side, he also was going pretty slow. It is just a thing of what are we doing? I think what's interesting is I'm wondering what it feels like in your heart of heart as a Big Brother fan right now. Are you going, oh, finally, the game can breathe. Finally, we have some like room for more people to do stuff? Or are you kind of like, every storyline that existed for the first 6 weeks of this game are all about Tucker? What are the storylines left?
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's interesting. I'm gonna flip, and I've flopped, and I'm flipped, and now I'm back to flopping. Of like, Angela just like begging for her life of like, I want to be your everything, is just like, oh my god, like what is going on? So if we're actually paying attention, there's 10 people in the house. There are, is that right? Is that the right number? Yes. 6. Yes.
Okay.
6 women, 4 men. So I think that is where our storyline will go. Of how did this happen? I it's just kind of shell shocking. I think it is worth marinating on this of like, this game is going to be very much like, some people said that maybe, which isn't true. Like there's some seasons of the show that are so good pre-jury and are awful afterwards. Mm-hmm. And how does Big Brother 26 avoid that? Of who is going to be interesting? Basically Cedric into Tucker leaving. Who cares about the person in the middle? That is an interesting blow to the male cast. Mm-hmm. Of the male cast this season, who is left? And maybe Kenny and Matt weren't your favorites, but Cedric was a sweetheart. No, okay, whatever. Cedric's a sweetheart. Tucker is one of the most like beloved pre-jury characters of all time. That'll be how he goes. But Cam is who we have left. Chemo is who we have left. Joseph is who we have left. And Quinn is who we have left. And of those 4 people, which one of them are you cheering for to carry on? Like at best, maybe Joseph. But if Joseph's going to keep playing passively of like, I'm going to immediately throw every competition I'm in, that's no fun. Mm-hmm. And then we have T-Core and Chemo are a team. But like, I wish, like, this felt like a very bad HOH for T-Core. Of like, whether you like Tucker or not, he was giving you money. He was I'll go on the block for you. It's so stupid. The whole reason why Tucker's even out right now is stupid. Of like, the whole notion of we need to make sure T-Core doesn't make enemies. And like, I'm just flabbergasted of like, who am I rooting for to make the new divide? Like, what is the divide? Is it going to be, oh, let's get out the Tucker voters of like, because Rubina wanted to vote for her boyfriend to stay, she's got to go. It would be an insane mindset. Like Chemo, if they had got it 4-4 tie, if Cam had, hey, maybe I should get rid of Angela. Like, what strategy talks have Cam and Angela had?
Mm-hmm.
And like, Cam getting rid of the big, strong dude. Yes, I get that maybe Tucker just nominated him and whatever, but like, there's the nuance. Maybe I'm grasping at straws because I have been looking forward to watching every Thursday for about a month now, which is a crazy like usually there's a fall off for like, oh, well, I could skip this next season. And I think we've been saying for 3 weeks now, the next HOH has the chance to make the power structure for themselves for the end game. And we've been saying, oh my God, Brian said it too, of like, but like we've had some of the worst HOHs I've ever seen of like Quinn should have gotten eliminated when Brooklyn went home. When Brooklyn went home, that should have been Quinn's gets eliminated. So
Well, he also had the time where was he taken off the block by the AI arena? No, Chemo. Anyway.
So what I'm trying to say is Quinn had the final the week 4 HOH of deepfake. He should have gone in 5.
Mm-hmm.
And now Cedric goes after his HOH and Tucker goes after his HOH. And you're kind of like, these HOHs are playing so poorly that like someone should punish T-Core and get T-Core out of like, you went from top dog to like out. And it's like, I don't know who Rubina is going to really blame for this. And like, oh, why wasn't it worth Tucker being like, hey, Mackenzie, we should run the table and keep those talks up? And at the end all be all of this is, what the fuck is Angela thinking? Like, why is she just not a normal person that we can like rely? Like, what more does Angela need? And like, if Angela was, if he, I don't understand this thinking. I legitimately do not. We're at final 11. Tucker's getting 11th place. We have 10 places to give out still. Like, it feels like Tucker leaving should be like, and now there's only 2 weeks left. Mm-hmm. Because I don't know what, like, we're not even halfway through with these episodes. We are maybe halfway through. 6 and 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. No, there'd be final 4. There's more. We're not even halfway through. So, like, what's crazy to me is if I'm a producer on Big Brother, how do I make this interesting enough where, and we've had some fan favorites go before. We've had some Frank Udies in the world. We've had like the same type of stuff. But like, this is like huge blow of like, we have 8 people left in the game that would never win an HOH ever because they're too like, we'll let someone else do something. And then is Angela going to win her 3rd HOH? And then what does Angela do with her 3rd HOH? And like, I think what's funny to me is like, we had a 2-hour episode yesterday and that's never happened before. We had an episode on Sunday and like, most of that isn't interesting to me anymore because it's just outlining this Tucker going. And so part of me is like, am I being hypocritical because I wanted that status quo to stay the same, but like every single episode would have been like, I don't know why we didn't take the shot last week. We're so dumb. But now I'm trying to be like grasping at straws of like the cash cow. Like they literally gave him 20 grand on the way out. Like, thank you for reinvigorating our show. But what are they about to do for the next 6 weeks for us to not go like, oh, I saw the episode, but I haven't really been watching feeds. And like, do we have enemies in there? We have Angela and Quinn. Like, Angela just got saved by Quinn, basically. But Quinn is the person that keeps immediately selling him out. And Quinn, can we talk about, like, when I was trying to do the who are the likable dudes left, Quinn is at the bottom. Quinn is one of the least likable dudes I have seen on TV in a while. And I know some people would be like, quit bullying him. These these confessionals are over the top, and they're over the top the wrong way of like, why would Angela be mad? All I did was completely sell her out. And you're just like, oh my God, is there any other way you could say that? Of like, Angela, I'm gonna get her before she gets me. And like, and then we have Joseph live tweeting from the Big Brother house saying Quinn is his favorite, which is crazy. I don't know. I just truly don't understand what Tucker's allies wanted from him more than what he gave. And then also, like, it was final 11. We had to take the shot. He was going to win every single competition over and over again. If Tucker didn't put you on the block last week, and if Tucker hasn't cussed you out, or if Tucker has put a veto around your neck already this game, I would keep Tucker around. Like, all he is a threat, and now it's like we're truly about to see like Chemo and T-Core and their third person, like Quinn, maybe be up on the block next week. And it's like, I don't know. It's just something where there is more nuance. Then we need to get Tucker out, and that's best for everyone's game. Because Tucker can only nominate 3 people at a time. So if you're at Final 10 with Tucker intact and you're not Rubina, there's at least 4 others of you that can avoid the block. And I don't understand why it wasn't worth that for some of those middle players to keep trying to play the middle. But that was a lot of talking for me. What did you think about this show?
10 minutes later. I do think Tucker going here was a big blow to me being like more invested in the show, because he just seems like such a good guy, such a good ally. He was like, I gave T-Core $5,000 so she didn't have a punishment for her HOH, and I took the punishment. I'm volunteering to go on the block. I'm telling Angela she's my number 1. Like, he's just being a good guy and getting raked over the coals for that. Should we bring this back up?
Oh my God, who's that? Huge fan of the show.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted of like, what's funny is I like some of these people in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that Leah should not be Tucker's biggest fan, but Leah hasn't been nominated by anybody.
Quinn, though, and not by her wanting either. It's just like,
let's go to a thing that happened on Wednesday's episode. They straight up stamped friend zone on Quinn's forehead. And I know I just said he's been bothering me and we shouldn't bully him, but that's one of the most insane things I've ever seen on the show. Of like, why are you doing
trying
this
hard? And Leah's just like,
if you say the word feelings or hey, can I tell you something? I'm sure every single girl who's made it through high school has at least one friend where it's like, hey, thanks for the candles and the chocolates and the teddy bear, but no, Valentine's Day is just a platonic thing for me or whatever.
Yeah. So on Wednesday, it was interesting to me that, so since I knew from feeds that Cam got the veto, it was interesting watching Wednesday's episode because now we're getting more of Cam talking, and I think it's just because he wins the veto. Like, we're getting so many more confessionals from him being like, yeah, I gotta win, and like, here's my strategy, when we've seen nothing from him basically the entire time when it wasn't part of the collective or the Pentagon.
Cam, there's somebody that said, has there been somebody less personable? And I was like, damn, that's kind of rude, but like, I kind of get it. Of like, what do we know about Cam? And we're 6 weeks in, and like, he was part of the dominant alliance. He's the 5th one they didn't talk about. He won a veto to save himself.
Yeah.
He goes, thank you. Like, There's no like, I won. Let's go. I saved my game. I'm really gonna take this to the next level next week. I don't know. Maybe I've got the egg on my face, and the 4 Brooklyn fans are gonna be like, "We got your ass for talking so much crap last week." But I think that's what's funny too. Is like, I just wish it wasn't. I wish it was. T-Core's whole goal was to get Tucker out.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we have been hyping up and talking about it is going to be impossible. Absolutely, all the stars are going to have to align to get Tucker out. And it was just like, actually, it was just like, I guess I'll put him up. Thanks for the thing. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm still like, how are you falling for that lie? That was T-Core. T-Core doesn't have a confessional from Thursday or Sunday's episode of like, I was going to put you up either way, Tucker. I don't care if you volunteered yourself or not. And then it's like, oh, she put up Cam and Mackenzie because she wanted Mackenzie out. I think there was an idea that she wanted Mackenzie out. And it's like, is Mackenzie going to go like I'm just trying to figure out who is definitely going home next week. If we could plan out the rest of the season, it just feels like Tucker's voice was so loud and so strong that has everybody else been in the mindset of, I don't need to watch. I don't need to win an HOH. I can just watch and see what happens. And they're all have the same strategy of like, but now after that first month of taking naps and making sure I'm nice to everybody, I can start winning HOHs on week 7.
Yeah. So let's get into the POV competition with like the power, with the downgrades and upgrades.
I just want to be here on this podcast with you. Please don't make me recap this. I could be your brother. I could be your dad. I could be your son.
How did you?
I promise you, this podcast means everything to me. It's ever since I was 15 years old. I wanted something like this.
On a Big Brother podcast. How did you like trapped in the Matrix for Joseph, where it was AI Matt talking nonstop, and he was in the have-not room and couldn't leave it?
Can we talk about Tucker again, please?
No.
I just want to talk about Tucker some more. The Matrix would probably be the worst thing ever to be in. Legitimately, if somebody said the thought process of 1,000 is the first number in the English language to have an A in it. You don't believe me? Let's go one by one. And I was like, oh my God.
Let's do all the words that rhyme with Matt. Cat.
The joke of like 8, you would think is ATE, but it's actually, I was like, okay.
The fact that it wasn't stopping, and there wasn't just like random bursts of like, hey, Matt's back talking about Matt things, and then goes away and then comes back at like 3 a.m. or something like that. No, it was like 24/7 for 24 hours.
I would hate that. I would legitimately, like, I know he made a big joke of getting let out during the veto and like took his shirt off and put it on his head, but like, like, could you imagine being 24 hours with a, what are they called? Fire alarms that's going off?
Yeah.
But it's like a fire alarm is somebody saying the dumbest shit ever, and it's somebody you didn't really like. Somebody is trying to say, did y'all hear about the backstory of Joseph in the Matrix?
I did not.
And they want us to talk about him. Oh, he finally had some private time, so he got to.
Do I want to know?
Jeez.
Angela wound up with radiation eradication, where she had to get rid of 1,000 radioactive balls into a trash can.
What was the pink anti-radiation stuff they were shooting on her?
It was like decontamination. She had to like every so often get decontaminated, so she had to get goop thrown on her and cold water.
Too bad they didn't have that Chernobyl, dude. That would have helped. And That must be super expensive for CBS to afford all that.
I think it took her 9 hours to do that, and I think Mackenzie like mathed it, and it was 8 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
So, but you have to do a task, so it's not like so 8 miles in 9 hours is less than a mile an hour is what you're trying to say, right?
I guess so.
So there's no speed. I guess starting and stopping. I do think at least 100% of the people listening right now could do it faster, but
well, also you have to factor in the decontamination station.
Oh yeah, we forgot about. I literally just said that and everything. My bad. My bad. Poor Angela. She probably did it as fast as humanly possible.
She at one point she couldn't run, so she was doing it as fast as she could.
Which Angela's a human, so it's technically fast as humanly possible.
Mackenzie got a trip to Hawaii.
Good for her. I hope she stays there and lives with chemo.
And then we were talking about it before. T-Core got the $5,000. Tucker got the AI assist, and he had to have his costume. And everyone was like, all AI voices were saying, Tucker, can you tell me the definition?
Yeah, why did he do the voice backwards? Back to them.
Because he's Tucker.
By the way, did you see me just yawn as we were talking about a post Tucker Like I can't. I got a good night's sleep last night. I just yawned in the middle of this. This is terrifying.
And it's not even 9:25 for you.
Yeah, it's 6:20. Like it's just crazy to me. Of like, oh, that's the other funny thing of like, this has happened before on like Price is Right, where it'll be like, I came in from like Maine to play Price is Right, and the prize will be like a trip to Maine from California. Like, I know how much that was. So chemo reading the like, oh, you get to go to Hawaii was crazy. Like they know chemo's gonna be a contestant. Why do you have the ability for chemo to like?
Couldn't it have been like Puerto Rico or something?
Yeah, seriously.
Or and then Cam obviously winding up with the veto. What are your thoughts on this comp overall? Do you like it as like a Big Brother like staple comp that they have, or is it like not for you?
I think I like it. I like we know how the gifts work. It is kind of predictable. Maybe we should switch it up a little bit. Who knows? I almost wouldn't mind this to be like an HOH competition when there's like 9 people left. For a little bit of that kind of stuff, but with like more punishments. Excuse me. Sorry. I think there was one thing of like, if everybody misses, everyone gets a second chance. But if you miss, you're just screwed. And I'm like, it kind of sucks. And it kind of sucked that they didn't like lift all the aliens back up. But maybe you just would have gotten really good at shooting the same one over and over again. But like, it did feel like even the people that weren't Tucker, like Tucker blew it that episode, that round of it. But like, even the people before him, I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, let them shoot twice, and like whatever one they get, like you get to shoot twice, but you like, I don't know, because then maybe your opponent's like, I don't want to get mine because then they know what they have to beat too.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. They thought about it and this is what they came up with, but it was ultimately like every time someone got 0, I was like, oh, that sucks. Instead of like shoot until you hit one, but then you just aim for the same one every time. So nothing really makes sense.
We got 3 AI instigator deep fakes. So we have twerking Rubina and Angela. We have Chemo saying Leah knows all of the boys' tea. And AI Tucker is calling out Chelsea, Quinn, and T-Core.
And I feel like there had to have been a bigger, like we didn't see any of that on today's episode, right? Of like,
no.
I feel like there had to have been like, we did 2 episodes, like, oh, there was going to be we're going to give Tucker the money on the show on Sunday if he survived tonight. So I'm sure they're scrambling of like, there goes 20 minutes of our show on Sunday night of like the last half of the AI instigators we didn't see. I did think it was pretty funny that Angela was like, "This AI instigator fucking blows." Like, of course it's not me. Like, this is the tackiest shit I've ever heard, and whoever does it should kill themselves. I was like, oh my god.
Well, so yeah, all this like AI instigator stuff leads into Tucker being like, "Hey, Angela, everyone thinks you're behind this, but I got you. Don't worry. We're
Right.
final two. Don't worry about it." And like that causes Angela to be like, "I don't believe anything you say," and then runs around and blows shit up.
So here's where we actually have to talk this out. I'm gonna throw out all the negativity of today. I legitimately, this is what my problem is. We are talking in a pool with my person who has saved me from clear eviction. We put Angela was done in week 3. We're gonna put a veto around her neck. She looks at me like I'm God and goes, "Oh my god, I'll remember this for the rest of my
she's
life."
wanting to win vetoes and shit for him. She just hasn't been able to, but she's had multiple confessionals saying like
3 weeks later, Angela is talking to Tucker and she comes up with a thought process. Who cares about the end of this? But like, let's get in the mindset here. It is final 11. My final 2 person is sitting in front of me, but has a girlfriend in the game that they announce themselves to the whole house of like, we're boyfriend, girlfriend. Oh my God, so fun. Not so fun. You get voted out. Like, bye. And like, she basically, what happened was my final 2 partner has someone that he is keeping a secret / announcing to the house. I don't know where we're at in this conversation. So when we get to the final 3 or final 4, he's going to take Rubina over me. Therefore, at final 11, I need to make a move to get him evicted so I can be at best the 6th or 7th best, the 5th, the 6th or 7th addition to a alliance during final 10. Like, this is just a move that doesn't make sense. Like, literally how this has to happen is Tucker goes home. You just get him on the double eviction, whatever one it is, you get him on the double eviction of, trust me, Tucker, I'm Angela. I've had your back for a month. You literally tell the camera right now, don't worry, I'm planning on getting Tucker a double eviction. And then you just go be nice. He protects you. He saves you. He wins an HOH this week. You don't even have to worry about the block. You didn't have to worry about the block because you didn't mess with him. Leah goes up and like you can, oh, Leah versus Tucker. Who goes home here? Make T-Core break whatever. Then if Tucker's still there, you're like, oh shit, hey, how's it going, bro? Of course we're together. But like, I don't get, Tucker would have voted me out at final. He is straight up saying, yes, I know I am kissing Rubina, but I made the alliance with you before that, and I'm not even willing, I'm going to honor that because that means more to me. She goes, I don't believe that. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you don't believe it. We're not going to have to prove
5,
it.
Somewhere around there.
Like Angela and Rubina are not going to be up on the block against each other. And like, Tucker's vote is the deciding thing until October. And it is not even September. Like for as much as we want to be like, Angela is great TV and fun, I think Angela has been great TV and fun until killing the back half of the season because she's trying to overthink everything. And you're like,
I mean, that brings us into today's episode where Angela just ruins yet another alliance, being like, I've been in with a bunch of people and I just kind of joined that alliance, and I'm not gonna name names, but like there's an alliance, and then Mackenzie's like, well, another alliance that I don't know about. And it just is like, Angela is the ruiner of every alliance she could ever dream of being a part of.
And I think this is where the narrative of the show has to go and be better. We need some drivers of like, we need to who's the lead car, who's the car who's taking a pit stop, who's in last place car, like, because we have so many passengers right now. Of Mackenzie doesn't say after that, she does not go, another alliance I'm not a part of. I better win HOH if I survive next week so I can get some freaking like blackmail on these people. Like, I know it's lip service at that point, but like it doesn't feel like any of these people want to play themselves out of this situation. And the status quo is Tucker is going to take care of everybody. So what I don't understand is these passive players voting Tucker out because quote unquote they had to, when, and once again, I'm just saying there's like at least 5 people that benefit from Tucker being in the game that just made their lives way harder. And it's like, if Cam and Chelsea can like win competitions and trade off those things, not only will it be like Cam HOH would literally slam the brakes on this season.
Someone has to pull a Suri in Panama and take
Who's
out the
gonna vote out Angela though? Like it's never gonna be like Angela is not going to win at all. So like you almost want to be like, I'm gonna align with Angela to be the one who takes her as the GOAT. Because like if you saw her speech tonight as somebody who maybe goes and plays the end game with her, are you gonna be like, we're gonna get to the final 2, and you know what's gonna happen? Angela's going to scream at the top of her lungs. This has been her thing. But is she going to have any thought process of like, at that point, she'll probably win 3 HOHs and a veto. She'll probably be like, I want 3 HOHs and a veto. This has been my dream forever. You know how loyal I've been. And I'm going to be like, who have you been loyal to? Like, you just said you only have one alliance that nobody knows about, and you told everybody about it. So what loyal game? I have been playing such a loyal game this entire time. Your final 2 partner, Quinn, hates your guts, and you guys have both like nominated each other basically, or like she won HOH on his deepfake, or he would have been nominated. Like, I think it's just a certain point where you're like, what reality are we living in? Yes, they're in the Big Brother house. They don't have all this information, but like, who did this?
And basically the rest of the episode is Chelsea campaigning for Tucker to go, and then her last like piece of the puzzle is getting Quinn to vote out Tucker. And I think it's not a great move for Quinn to vote out Tucker, because then Quinn is exposed as more of a threat, where everybody was kind of rallying around, oh, let's all get Tucker out, and Quinn can like be in with that. Now I feel like Quinn is more of that target. Let's get Quinn out.
So why did Quinn just vote out Tucker?
I don't know.
Like legitimately, how bad are some of these people at playing?
I don't understand who this move was good for.
This move was good for Chelsea. This move was good for Leah.
Cam.
This move was good for Mackenzie. And I think it's mostly those 3 people.
Okay.
And that's not enough of these people. Like Mackenzie, Leah, and Chelsea were 3 of the voters. The other 2 voters for him to go were Quinn and Cam. So the women that voted Tucker, I think, are 3 of your final 6 if they stick together. And like, who is truly going to trust Quinn over the next month? Of like, I don't know.
I did like the AI arena puzzle. I thought it was interesting trying to get like put the puzzle pieces in all level, then it has a number coordinated to it. You have to get a chip and like get the right number. So I think this was one of the better AI comps that they've had, but you know, it's just one of those quick, easy challenges. Not to Tucker, it was not quick and easy, but.
And I think that's another thing of like live TV. Don't you love it? Of like, you're not supposed to have kids or animals because you can't predict what they're gonna do. But we've had some really good oh my god moments of Rubina's about to win. Oh, but Mackenzie
Mackenzie's
wins.
arms are longer.
And that was a cool moment. But like, for as much fun as that was,
This was just
Tucker got
depressing.
shellacked. Tucker had there was 10 puzzle pieces, or maybe it's 14, maybe it's 16. I don't remember.
It was 10, yeah.
Okay, 10. It was 10. Tucker had 0. Angela had 3. And it's not because like Mackenzie's just that good at puzzles, baby. It was our cash cow dude that we need to win. Like I am truly always looking at this as equal parts fun for me at home, and like if you're a producer, you're trying to like keep everything as fair as possible, but maybe you should do the extra layer of like, Tucker, it truly feels like your head's not into it because you haven't been really getting much sleep. But like, do you know how it works? Because I just don't understand how
Julie said in like his final words, like we asked if you understood what was going on, and he was like, I know.
Right.
So I don't know. But,
so actually one thought I have for you is, who do you think is going to emerge as the fun people to watch that now we build a show around for this upcoming Sunday's episode?
Great question. I feel like so many people have gotten no attention that like it's hard to pinpoint. Like Rubina for 5 episodes is like non-existent, and now all of a sudden. So I think we're gonna get a lot of Rubina on Sunday because of the like we got with Mackenzie and Leah, revenge for Matt. Rubina might do the revenge for Tucker and have that moment. But I don't think it's lasting. I think Chelsea is probably your kingpin right now.
I mean, and like, I like Chelsea, and she was doing the Aunt Julie, like, are you proud of me? Or so I was like, I was like, what? Like, I want her to be. Somebody mentioned this on Twitter where you're like, okay, I really like her, except I know how like there's a lot of religious people that are like staying over, and like we don't need to say that, but it's just like, damn, Tucker was like made fun of Mackenzie for her Bible once, and it's like now she beat him, like divine intervention. That's the only way Tucker could go. I'm not making any sense here, but like I like Chelsea. I don't see her as like my favorite person that I'm tuning in to watch.
Well, no, I just feel like that's where they're gonna go, is because Chelsea and Quinn are like the most, and Angela, I guess, are the most like prominent players that we have right now. Right. And like out of those 3, I'd rather focus on Chelsea.
Real? No, I know. That makes sense.
You want to focus on the other 2? I quit.
All right, let me move this.
I just hate every confessional that comes out of Quinn's mouth. I just want to mute, turn off.
It is the worst. It is legitimately my least
another
favorite
thing of like when Angela was going through it with the decontamination, he was just like, hit her again. Oh, sorry, hit her again. And I'm like, she's already not doing great. Like, can we just not?
That is a little bit despicable. I'm trying to figure out. There's been at least 1 or 2 Big Brother people like him before. Of like, he feels a little Scotty Salton to me, or whatever Scotty's last name was, and like oh Scott, I like Scotty when he's I like Quinn when he's an underdog. But boy, does he put himself in underdog positions a lot because of how bad he's playing. But if Quinn ever puts himself in a dominant position, he's going to be the most obnoxious person. And like, what place did Tucker just get? 11th place? Like, Quinn getting 11th place? That would make sense. Like, I get... Here's another layer. We're just bringing this back. We're never going to talk about Tucker again, which is very interesting. Because he's going to not be a major part of the season. If you're not on the second half of the season... back
to a comment earlier, will he win America's Favorite Player? Or will someone else get it?
So here's the actual thing that I was saying. did Tucker play bad? And I think what's interesting about this shit is Tucker was playing a brand new strategy we have not seen in Big Brother ever. That's part of why it was so interesting to watch, because it was put up or shut up, and there was a lot of passive players in the game that were shutting up and letting him do it. There was a lot of people that benefited from it. He was doing whatever he wanted of like, he didn't have to wait. He gave a veto to somebody. It was very interesting to watch. He played the veto on himself. There are 3 vetoes in 3 weeks. He's playing bad. He's making himself his target way too early. He's already 4 competitions away from the all-time record, even though it's week 6, because AI counts as a competition or whatever, when maybe some others don't have that. But was Tucker playing bad? And I don't think that answer is yes. So that's another thing of, there's people in the game that are playing this game worse than Tucker that are surviving because Tucker is, oh, we got to kill him if we have the chance. And so I think people will see this unique strategy from Tucker as a flame out thing instead of a viable strategy. Or like, maybe there's some other shows where you could do this type of stuff. You could use Tucker as a blueprint of like, if I'm a contestant on the next season of The Mole, I want to just go all out and win every single challenge like that. And then people will tell me everything because they told everything to Tucker. Or on the next season of Survivor, I want a dominant win. Like it really doesn't work unless it's whatchamacallit, individual games. And so like, I get, now we're seeing some people being like, I get that Tucker probably thought he was winning the AI arena. And did Tucker not take the time to corral votes and campaign for votes? That's probably bad. But of his 5 votes, he wasn't going to get Chelsea. We know Quinn was going to like basically be like, nana nana boo boo, got you. McKenzie is maybe one he could have stood with. Like maybe he has to talk to Cam for hours of, this is our true thing, I promise you. But of those 5 votes, like, it just sucks that he's in this situation because of T-Core. And like, truly, I think T-Core is going to make it to Final 4. But is she playing a good game, or is it she is standing there passively saying everything to everybody? But like, I think what's interesting is I'm trying to say the thought process of Tucker's playing a strategy that has never been used. And now maybe the right way to play the first half of this game was to be as passive as possible. Of, as long as Tucker's not nominating me, but playing as passively as possible and letting Tucker do his thing is now over. So if you were playing well while Tucker's in the house, him leaving the house has put you a couple notches down. I'm literally just saying stuff we've already said a while ago, but I think it was interesting of like, I hope somebody can see Tucker's gameplay and go, I never thought I could play Big Brother because I would call everybody out, but I think I could just win a bunch of competitions and maybe do that just like Tucker did. And if Tucker gets on the challenge 5 times and gets on Big Brother All-Stars, or
I think he could be on the, he would be hilarious on the Traders.
I mean, yeah, because it's like, does he even like that half of the strategy part of this?
True.
But like when there's reindeer games this year, you don't think it's gonna be Tucker from this season?
Yeah.
Like, and like, which one of the 10 people that if they won the show would you go, oh, that's not Tucker's season, that's Chelsea's season because she won? Like, or would it be like, that's Chemo's season? But like, I think most people, whenever 10 years from now, when we're doing Big Brother 35, they'll be like, oh, Tucker's season? Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. And it'll be like, you know, he went before jury, and be like, no way. He was such a big, whatchamacallit, which I think is the idea of like, when you're playing this game, are you trying to live out your childhood fantasies, even though Big Brother's only 26 years old. So you were 24 when this happened, Angela. So that math doesn't work at all. Is Angela 40 or 50? Angela's not 40.
50.
She's 50. What
50.
was she talking about? Since I was 15 years old, I've wanted to do this. Like, Big Brother didn't come out for
Be
another
on
10 years.
reality TV, praying that nobody wants to.
Reality TV started in 2000. That don't make no sense either.
Praying that nobody knows math.
Oh my god, poor math. Okay, Tucker's dead. It's over. I do think everything we're feeling, I think you'll see people in the Big Brother house feel that same way. Like, what is Joseph's plan? Like, does Joseph just immediately get eliminated in 10th place? Because if he does, Joseph is the biggest flop of the season. Like, by far. And, like, yeah. I kind of want to be like, what is Chemo's plan? Chemo is, I'm going to just get put up next to everybody, but I won't go home. Like, your plan is just to be a pawn for the next month of, like, maybe these people will vote out Quinn over me. Maybe these people will vote Joseph over me. These people will vote Mackenzie or Leah over me. But, like, Chemo's about to hit the block every single week for the next month. No matter who wins, it's like, I'm closer to T-Core, I'll put up Chemo. And they'll be like, oh, we'd like it if you didn't put up Chemo. Sorry, I still have to nominate 3 people. Good luck in AI. Like, it won't even be a brainer at all. It'd be a no absolute brainer that Chemo has backstabbed both sides now. Of, we flipped on Cedric, and now I'm also holding my pants whenever, like, Tucker goes home.
Mm-hmm. So, well, no, he didn't vote out Tucker. He voted for Angela.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's a bad vote currently. Of, like, if everyone in the house gets together and goes, oh, I really like the 5 that voted out Tucker. Should we just eliminate, like,
the ones who didn't?
The 5 plus Angela? These 6 people could just vote out the 3 Tucker voters and T-Core. Joseph, how did you get a computer in the Big Brother house? This is crazy. What the hell? Oh, and I'm not even talking about Rubina. Like Rubina, I would love if Rubina had a, this is for you, I'm pointing up as the sky, as it's the Peloton HOH where we try to, who gets to pedal the most in an hour, and it's like, she did it 6 times more than anybody else. She did it
for little legs.
She's got little legs. Yeah, I think this is a very much, damn, what do we do? What do we do as a podcast, you know, now that we don't have, I wonder what Tucker will do. And like,
well, I wonder what Angela's going to do.
Yeah, great. She's going to lay on the ground. Just kidding. It's kind of iconic sometimes, but sometimes it's annoying. I think what's funny is I always litmus test of, like, we haven't had a lot of, who wants to see my HOH room or pranks, because usually you only get those when the shows have so much downtime they have nothing to put on the episode.
Yep. We only got 1 prank and maybe, like, 1 HOH room.
If we have an HOH room where somebody's like, and it's not Rubina of who wants to see my HOH room, I think that'll be a, like, ooh, we are hurting.
We're in, like, for a wild rest of the summer.
I think there's been a couple people who are like, I hope they have a breakout second half. And for me, that is the pair of Leah and Joseph. Of whenever they get together late at night to talk shit about other people, is there any game involved in that? Or is it just 2 people being like, finally, I'm around somebody else that also hates the same people I do? Yeah. Or can they turn that into, like, a, well, if I win HOH, you're safe, and who else do you want safe? Because after this, Joseph or Leah HOH, like, Leah was close to winning HOHs when this game first started. And all those people that were beating her are kind of like, most of them are gone besides Quinn.
Yeah.
I don't want a Quinn HOH. Please, God, do not have a Quinn HOH. If there's a Quinn HOH this week, Monday on Big Brother.
Do you have anything else that you want to say?
I literally talked for like 45 minutes. What about you?
I think I'm good. So we'll see you on Monday to see the aftermath of Tucker not being there and find out what the heck we're gonna like do without Tucker there. So, alrighty.